The learning landscape is the terrain on which learning takes place. And that's the physical environment, it's the cyber environment, it's actually the relationship between learners and teachers. It's the whole ecology of the environment in which learning takes place.
The day is about the university connecting with education, a range of educational providers in Lincolnshire and elsewhere. It's about encouraging partnership between partner colleges, associate colleges, schools, employers, community organisations. It's about people getting close to each other, about them talking to each other, about learning from each other. It's also very important that students are here, so we hear what students have to say, rather than speaking on behalf of students, which we're all very used to doing. The atmosphere of the conference is very informal. It's kind of organised chaos because we want to ensure as much participation and discussions and involvement with all of the participants. So there was a bit of being talked at this morning. We had some short presentations, but there's very few presentations in this conference. It's really about engagement and discussion and the concept of dialogue.
We need to sort of somehow unite this idea of the physical landscape with the social landscape, you know, both together, working together, because dealing with one without the other is insufficient. You really got to look at them both together and how they actually interact with each other.
All they said was it's the power of working together and there is no agenda, so it's just free discussion.
Right. Well, were there any points that actually came up in the introductions this morning that people found either, well, that people may have been in disagreement with, for a start? I mean, it was very, very well put over. I thought the speech was very good this morning. There's some very key things mentioned, I thought. Or any things that people felt particularly strongly about that we could actually focus on as a starting point.
Move along the bus, please.
Okay, tell us what you came up with in terms of agenda items.
It's a community of staff and a community of students.
Thank you. Community of staff and a community of students. Is that a problem?
No, except that they're both fragmented.
Yeah, no, please carry on. We don't worry.
They like the traditional learning environment, our students as
You
well.
do like it. Good for you. We like it as well, but we don't want it to be all traditional. We want to have a bit of a mixture. We're not throwing it all away. We want to keep nice lecture theatres, but not all lecture theatres. Yeah, good point.
We talked about, the students talked about how will the partnerships affect them.
The students don't.
Yeah, how will the partnerships affect them.
Are there any students here who are in the red group?
Oh, yeah. Don't.
Can you come here and tell us what you said, please?
Sorry.
Come on.
There's a sort of lack of faith in systems. People are afraid to put forward the views because they don't believe that they're going to be taken seriously. And we talked about they don't see the impacts of these systems as well.
Right, thanks very much.
Well, what was really nice about having students involved was to actually hear what they were saying. And some of it was positive and some of it was how, for instance, of how many students don't actually say what they want to say because they feel they're not going to be listened to. And it's not going to be taken seriously. I mean, that would be one thing that came out, would be a practical proposition, would be to see how you could change people's perceptions so that they realise that what they say is important, is regarded as important and will be acted upon. And I'd say at all levels as well.
I'd like the fact that we were allowed to actually work with teachers and we're allowed to talk to them as well as learn stuff ourselves.
Such a variety of people here. I was surprised how far it extended. I kind of expected a few students probably from the university, but that it's gone into further and higher education, that councils are here, people who work in the councils who are employees of graduates, they're looking to work with the university. So all the engagement issues have been brought into it, but that the conference has actually brought everybody together.
Partnerships are particularly useful because you gain a lot of knowledge from areas that you might not normally come in contact with. It's also helpful to develop different ideas amongst people and gain insight into other areas.
It's important to take risks in teaching and learning. If we always stay at the same level, we're never going to move forward. But by taking risks, by doing something different, we can then monitor that and see if it's of benefit to the teaching and the learning. It's quite exciting.
The benefit of partnership and working together generally is that you get other people's ideas, and you can build in other people's practices into your own, and vice versa, of course. You know, they can take your practices, because we all have good ideas, and you know, we don't often get the chance to share them.
And the problem that we have is how to think inside a situation that we can't see the outside of. So the problem for us all, we're so overwhelmed with policy and workload and other issues that it's very hard for us to think. So the point of the conference is, can we engineer some solutions from the inside out, rather than thinking that the solutions lie in alternatives that already exist on the outside.